Hello, I'm so happy you decided to stop by. I have something special I want to share with you today. I hope you can hang out for a bit. Welcome back to Safe at Homestead. And if this is your first time visiting us, welcome. My name is Elena, and I am mini steading on 1,600 square feet in the New Mexico desert. Today, I'm going to share with you my garden. We want these little guys in our garden. All right, let's get started right here with this green stalk. So this green stalk has mostly strawberries, as you can see. I do have some herbs in here and some flowers. The other day I did sprinkle some seeds in here, but really, don't ask me what seeds I sprinkled in here. I just kind of went crazy wherever there was a dead strawberry, like here. I didn't pull the strawberry out because it looks like it might come back, but in the meantime I wanted something in here. So it could be lettuce, or it could be, who knows what. Oh, I think it is lettuce. This little like mini romaine lettuce. We'll see. We'll be surprised. I do have some parsley that I started from seed. I'm pretty proud of that. And this is a whole bunch of thyme seeds that I threw in here. Probably too many, but I will let them keep growing and see what happens. Like I said, mostly strawberries, and as I've mentioned before, these strawberries are a small variety. They are just here for fun, so that we have something to pick and eat while we're working here in the garden. Here's one that's almost ready, and that's why I planted them. They're not for canning or anything like that. As a matter of fact, it says here small fruit. That's all it says, small fruit strawberry. I have some portulaca growing in here. There's a lot of portulaca in my garden because they are often marked down on clearance. This is probably an herb too. Maybe it is some thyme. I'm not 100% sure. More portulaca. More portulaca. We had quite a bit of these in this green stalk, and I could not figure out what it was. My husband kept saying it's the sunflower, the Mexican sunflower that we have. It's a sunflower that it grows to 10 feet. And I thought, no, because, you know, you dig those up from the roots and that's how you propagate them. But yesterday I started thinking, well, I pulled a bunch of them out. And yesterday I started thinking, you know what? Here's some more. This green stalk used to be right here. And this is the sunflower bush coming up. And it's going to go up to at least 10 feet. But I wondered if some of the seeds didn't fall in this green stalk. So it is entirely possible because it looks exactly like that sunflower. So I pulled most of them out, but I decided to leave a couple of them to see what would happen. Being that it's their first time coming up, I don't think that they will get to 10 feet. They did get to about 4 or 5 feet their first year. So maybe these will do the same. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see together. Okay, moving on here. This is a new little area I dug up and amended a couple of weeks ago. This is okra, and I am a little bit disappointed with it right now because I planted 8 of them, and right now there's only 3 of them. This seems to be a theme going on in my garden, as you'll see as I go on. I think I'm going to run to the store and try to get some more. They are plentiful. They are at Tractor Supply, they're at Lowe's, they're at Home Depot. You can find them inexpensively. So I'm gonna just put some more. It's green okra. This will be my second time attempting okra here in New Mexico. and I hope that I can get some to grow. So let's keep moving. I'm just going to go around in a big circle here in the garden. This is one of my garlic patches. These garlic are from the store. This first section here, I already pulled some out because they were just totally dried up and fallen over, and I knew they wouldn't do anything much. And it's elephant garlic, and I got them from Walmart, and I probably got about this big around. Not very big at all, but not too small. I would classify it as medium. So this section has elephant garlic from the store. This section has regular clove garlic, and I think this is from, if I can read my writing on these divider woods, this looks like Whole Foods. So these are from Whole Foods, and it looks like I might have to be pulling these out too. I don't think they're going to do much more. And then these are from Trader Joe's. Obviously I don't know what type they were. They don't give you that information at the store. I just grabbed garlic just to see if I could get it to work. And I planted these back in October or November last year, and I just planted it, and it was my first time doing garlic, and I was just so shocked when things started to come up in March. And this other half of the bed has my brassicas and some lettuce. I have a broccoli here. I've mentioned before these birds that do damage in my garden every day. You can see some there, some there. I don't think that they're trying to damage the plants, but they're just trying to get insects, worms, but in the process they do damage my plants. So my garlic has suffered a lot because of it. That is a Swiss chard that's suffering a little bit right now. This is another broccoli. I did not write down the types of broccoli that I got, and I can go back to look at an old video, but I still won't know where I put each one. So yeah, that's something that I am trying to be better at, is recording what I get and where I put it. This is some romaine lettuce. I pulled one up, I don't know, maybe a week and a half or so ago from here. And these, we just pull the leaves off, have them in salads or in sandwiches. This is a red cabbage. I can't wait to see this guy form up. And what is this? Oh no. Some altercation going on in the chicken coop. This is, I think, well, I thought this was a Brussels sprout, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is one of my Brussels sprouts right there. So this is part of my, I call it the old garden. It's the old bed. It's one of the first beds that I put in. All right, so on to my second garlic patch. These garlic I got online, and some are called Nootka and some are California. And I don't know which is which. I do have a record of what I put where. I would have to go back and see what that tells me, but you can see how much better these are than the ones from the store. And I'm going to chalk it up to the fact that they're certified seed garlic, and they are stronger, and they're definitely doing better. You may have noticed in my other bed that I have these PVC thingamajigs up. The reason is because I thought I would cover these up from the birds until I pull them. And every week I say I'm going to put some covering, and then every week I change my mind because I feel like it's too much work. But I really would like these, at least these garlic, to do well, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put the covers on. Next is another brassica box, And this one usually suffers a lot from the birds, but not so much today. There's a little hole right there where they're digging. Okay, so in this bed I have some purple broccoli, not purple broccoli, purple cabbage. And these are just hanging on. They were small when I put them in, but I had to keep putting the dirt back around it, putting the dirt or the soil back around it because the birds would dig here a lot. I think that just slowed their progress a little bit. I have some Swiss chard here trying to hold on. And I don't know what this is. I must have started some. I did come around and put a bunch of seeds in one day. That's what I do when I get frustrated. Things aren't working out and the birds keep pulling. They do pull little things out. I just go back and just add some seeds. Here's some petunias. We have lots of petunias too because we got like 2 trays. They were $2.50 each with a bunch of petunias. So I just stuck them in wherever. And here's another Swiss chard trying to hold on. Here's a cabbage. Cabbage is so beautiful. We're not big cabbage eaters, but we do like it. I wanted to try to ferment some this year, and I just think they're beautiful, which is the main reason I plant them. This is another Brussels sprout. Brussels sprouts, cabbage, 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 and some little petunias to bring some color. And this is broccoli. There was a quite large broccoli right here. My husband cut it last night. Maybe if you guys saw yesterday's video or my last video, I have a video of him cutting it. I really wanted to show it to you guys in place, but it really needed to come out. It was starting to open up, and we don't want that. So that is the next broccoli that we will be harvesting. Oh, and you know what I didn't tell you about this brassica bed and this one with the lettuce is that I planted some really pretty flowers that I got from Baker Creek. They're called butterfly pea, and I planted 2 varieties. In this box right along here I planted the lavender variety. They look really pretty. They are edible. They're good for tea. So I was pretty excited about that. I have this one little guy coming up, and that is it. So this is a perfect example of what happens in my garden. I plant seeds. They don't come up. A month goes by, they don't come up, and I plant more. So I don't have any more of this because I planted half the packet. Nothing happened after a month. I planted the other half, and I don't know if that one that's coming up is from the new batch that I put in or the old batch. Then a couple of days ago I saw this guy, and I don't think he is the same. He's not acting the same. It doesn't look the same as that butterfly pea. I think this might be a volunteer bean because I had pole beans here in this same spot last year going up this trellis. So I'm going to assume that that is a bean, and I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it because nothing much is happening here. I planted those seeds all along here, and there is no sign of, ow, splinter, no sign of anything else coming up. So in this box I planted, I think it's called Queen. It's butterfly pea, Queen, and they're blue. The lavender ones are of course purpley. This one is blue. Nothing is happening, and it's been quite a while. I need to go back and see how long ago I planted these, but definitely about a month and a half, if not more. So I am not sure why that happens. It's happened with other seeds. I will talk to you about that here in a bit. Oh, the sun is coming out. All right, so this is one of our new beds since we expanded the garden. And this bed has similar issues. First, let me just tell you about this little plant here. It's called sorrel, and I got 3 of them from a local farmer. I was excited about it because it's something that you put in your salads, but it has a citrusy zing to it. I put 3 in and only 1 survived. And then I planted several varieties, 2 or 3 varieties of kale in here. I planted calendula right here. And then over here I planted Swiss chard. It has been almost 2 months. The only thing that came up from the first time I planted was this. And they are doing fine. So of course I came back and planted all over again the same things. And a week or so later I started to see some seeds pop up. And again, I don't know, is this the old seed or is this the new seed? So right there you see a few little kales coming up. Those are lacinato, the dinosaur kale. I decided to just mulch everything. I like to mulch after I see things coming up, but I started to wonder, is the ground drying out too much? Because we've had high 80s, low 90s here pretty early for that kind of weather, but that's what we've had. And so I just mulched everything, but I left little spaces so that you could see what's coming up, you know, so I could show you what's coming up. And then here is some more. I think this is the premier kale coming up right there. And I think there's one more something right here. Is some more kale coming up. Is it the old kale seeds? Is it the new kale seeds? I have no idea. Nothing is happening with the calendula, and I really wanted lots of calendula because I use it for my chickens. And nothing is happening with the Swiss chard. This oregano has been in there for a little bit, and it has not yet established itself. It hasn't called this bed its home yet, because it looks exactly the same way as when I put it in, so nothing's happened. And here are some petunias. They just bloom and die off. You know how that works. I had to go get my hat. I thought we would have overcast weather all day, which would have been nice. That's what the weatherman said, but you know how that goes. So I was talking to a friend yesterday, and she is having the same issues with direct sown seeds. And we were wondering if it wasn't because for quite a while, even though we had 70s and 80s weather during the day, the temps dipped to low 40s, high 50s at night. And maybe that has something to do with why the seeds were taking so long to come up. Sounded like a good idea. I don't know. I'll chalk it up to that. Okay, moving right along. This is one of my potato containers, and it has Kennebec potato. This potato started to send up shoots. I don't even think it was a week. I put it in here, and in just a few days it was already sending up shoots. I wonder if Kennebec is a fast-growing potato. I don't know. The other reason why I'm wondering about that is this is also Kennebec. They were both put in together, these potatoes, and this one already has flowers. So I hope those are all good signs, and that we will have potatoes soon from these containers. Okay, so let me give you some orientation here before I talk about these 2 beds. These 2 beds are some of my new beds as well, and they have an arch. One of my cattle panel arches. And so I will show you what's on the outside, and then I will show you what's on the inside. The reason that these beds are 2 feet wide, these beds are 2 feet wide, by the way, is because we decided to just make 2 feet wide moving forward, because the 4 foot wide beds were becoming challenging for me to work with and reach in the middle. Even going around the other side to reach in the middle, it was a lot of stretching and bending for me. It was becoming a challenge, so we decided to just stick with narrower beds. Okay, so the entire outside of this bed is peppers. Unfortunately, I can't tell you exactly what peppers. This is a hot pepper, but I can't remember the name. This is a shishito pepper. This one is called ají something amarillo. I cannot read her writing, but it is a hot pepper. I got this from a local farmer here. This one right here is kind of on the inside of the trellis. It's also a shishito. This is a regular bell pepper, and I think this one is 2. I'm not sure about that one, but these are all peppers. These 3 are Tabasco, and they have not changed since I put them in. They don't seem to be doing so well. It's hard for me to know whether it's too much water, not enough water. I try not to give anything too much water, but I just check the soil to see, you know, is it moist? Is it dry? See, as I'm going down here, I can feel it's cold. Yeah, and it's still moist. So, yeah, I try to be balanced with water, but for some reason, I don't know. I mean, I'm having a little bit of a challenge. As we swing over here to the other side of this trellis and second bed, I just want to stop here and show you these snapdragons. They are almost ready to bloom. And I am so proud of this. I mean, I have never been able to grow zinnias. I have tried, I think, 3 times. And the last, let's see, this is my 3rd attempt. The last 2 times I got 1 zinnia, like 1 flower. That was it. And these are just, this is the snapdragon. But these, look at, they are coming up, and I'm so happy. I just want to have lots of zinnias. I had a lot more in here. I don't know what happened. The seeds weren't viable maybe, or sometimes those awful birds pull small seedlings out of my beds, so who knows what happened there. Okay, so the outside, sorry, this is going to have my shadow, but this is the outside of that same trellis. Let's see if I can, yeah. More peppers, not sure what kind of peppers. One of the reasons I'm not sure about these peppers, I think these are called yellow hots. I'm not 100% sure. Is that I put these in here and they shrivel up like in a day. I don't know what happens. There's lots of water. It's just too much maybe to transplant for them. So I had one, let's see. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 peppers. These 2 on the end are the only ones that survived. Everything else died. I replaced these 2, and I haven't replaced 2 that I had here. I just needed to take a break. I was having stress from plants dying. This is a holy basil that I'm so sad about. In the past, when I lived in a more humid climate, my holy basil was just giant. I was just cutting it back all the time. This one has been in here for over a month, and I don't know if it will call this bed its home. It's just not doing well. And this time is, I don't know, it's, what kind of time is it? Let's see. English time. It is not bouncing back either. Still smells good. All right, so on the inside of this cattle panel trellis, I have 2 tomatoes that I got from this same farmer that I keep mentioning. And this is called Eleni Star. And I've never heard of them before. But my research showed that they are good for everything. For slicing, for making sauce, everything. And I had these thingamabobs in here watering them, but I decided that I would stop for a little bit, give them a little break. You want tomatoes to go looking for water and stretching their roots down. So I took the water away from them for a little bit. Plus, these things, as much as I like them, they do this. And my husband says we need to just make a little hole in the top so that there's some air, and then they won't suck in like that. Let me get the tripod and show you guys how this works. Okay, I hope you can see this. So this is something I got from Amazon, and it's a 2-piece little contraption. You have this with the spike that goes in the ground, and you have this little thing here, and it's a drip system, and this controls the drip. So you find, let's see, I think it's 1 inch opening in a bottle. So pop bottles or water bottles. We found some seltzer bottles that were the right size, and you screw them in, and this little thing, this little section here is where the water comes out, and this little knob is going to help you to, as you loosen it, let's see, as you loosen it, you will see you get drips. This is a very slow drip right now. And as you turn it, you can get a faster drip. And you could even turn it to get a stream. Just depends on what you want. So I had it dripping, and that's probably how I would leave it, like a medium drip. But I need to take care of this issue right here, this sucking in. So I have it out right now. So this tomato here, this one is doing very well. It has flowers. This one was doing okay, and it got flowers, but now I don't know. It's, yeah, we might get some tomatoes. The flowers fell off, and, well, they didn't fall off, but they dried up. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, so moving over from these 2 tomato and pepper beds, we come to this earth bag, and this earth bag has some peas. And I am just growing these peas for the fun of them. I think they look pretty. I wanted to give it a try. I like peas, my husband doesn't. So I just planted a few in this bed here before I considered the fact that I wanted to put a cattle panel in there for a trellis. So I took them out and put them over here in this bag, and I think they like it because it was slow going for a little bit, but they have established themselves pretty well, and I can see the growth. They are growing, so that's good. Okay, when we come over here, this area is a bit of a disaster. That is a potting table my hubby made me from pallets. You can't really see much there. There's just a lot of stuff there. And the reason this stuff is all here is that we have not yet made a proper storage area for some of these things. And the reason we have not done that is because of this project that's going on. It's slow going, but it's coming along. And what's happening here is we are extending the chicken coop or the chicken run this way to give them more room. We had 11 chickens, now we have 17, and I will probably get a couple more, so I want them to have more room. The coop is big enough, plenty big for them at night so they can sleep. There's enough room, but during the day when they're out and about, they need to have more room to roam. And you can see right there, this will give you an idea of how much work he has to do to get this done, because he's trying to make to match the level of the coop inside, or the run. You see where the floor of the run is, so this is almost equal. But to achieve that, he has to move a lot of sand and clay. So this hollyhock, which I love, is in the way. You can see the roots of this thing, look. So I have to find a new place for it because it is in the way of progress. So the reason it's there, though, is because, let me share the story of this hollyhock. We started this garden 3 years ago. This is our 3rd season. When we first started, the fence line was right here. So the hollyhock was up against the fence. And then last year we moved the fence 8 feet that way so we could fit the chicken coop in here. This hollyhock was eaten down to this at least 3 times by the rabbits our first year, because we did not have chicken wire around the fence and the bunnies could come in, so they did that damage. But every time it came back and it came back and it came back, and this is what it is today. And so now I'm so afraid to move it because it's so big, and we're definitely going to damage some roots, but it needs to go because the chicken run needs to come out this way. So when that happens, then all of this gets stored away, including, just everything. We'll have storage over here up against the run, and we can put these things away. Okay, so let's see if I can squeeze a little bit more footage in here before my phone gives up because of the heat. This is the greenhouse, and you guys have seen videos of me with this greenhouse. In here, I don't have much. I just started some seeds in here a couple of days ago. I have pepper and bean seeds. This is some potting mix that I'm storing in here, and this is a palm that I'm trying to save, so I have it in here. I should close this up to give it a little bit more humidity maybe after I water it, and just some other stuff. This is my lemon bush. I've never done citrus before. I have no idea if I'm doing it right or doing it wrong. All I know is that it should not have wet feet. So it does not like to be too wet. But, yeah, I still feel some moisture going 3 inches down, 3 knuckles down. So I would say that I won't water it. This is a, what is the name of this? I have it on the tip of my tongue. It has beautiful flowers, and I think this one is going to be pink. I can't think right now what it is. It's a vining flower anyway. This one, I don't know what it is. I bought it at an art sale. It was at a gallery. They just had plants for sale, and I bought it. These are some geranium that I got from on clearance from Home Depot, actually Lowe's. And here we are at my second green stock. And if you watched, let's see, yesterday's video, you can see, I keep saying yesterday, but I don't know. I had trouble with that video, and I don't know if it went up yesterday or early this morning, like at 1 o'clock or something crazy like that. But I talked about the story of this Greenstock and the trouble I had with the top tier, and how Greenstock stepped up, and how I love their customer service. So this Greenstock has herbs and flowers, and I think I did put some lettuce seeds in here too. Oh, it does have some peppers too. I have never been successful with nasturtium, and I tried just getting some starts and putting them in here. But it's, see, some of them look okay, some of them are dried up. This is a Greek oregano. I think this needs watering. Portulaca. I have portulaca everywhere because it's always on clearance and I always grab it. This parsley has seen better days. I might put some seeds in here. Pepper, this is a yellow hot pepper. This, I don't know what this is, but it came in a pot with a bunch of geranium and another plant. I just stuck it in here because I like the way it vines. Pepper, that's a yellow hot, yellow hot. And this pepper didn't do too good. I don't know what pepper that is. And here's another nasturtium that's eh. And here's why I love portulaca. So pretty. So right now this is empty. This just went up yesterday. I need to get some soil for that and think about what I'm going to put up here. Okay, this is a cement mixing container, cement mixing tray, and I have 2 of them. And so this one has seeds in it also. But I think it's only been 2 weeks with these seeds. And I need to water them. Wherever I have seeds, by the way, I water every day because seeds, they need the water. So I try to water them every day. So lack of water is not why the seeds aren't coming up. There's another reason, and it's a mystery. We don't know what it is. So I wanted to make this like its own bed. So there's some short-ish sunflowers in the back. I think, I'm not sure what's in the front. Lettuce? And then here's a oregano, a Greek oregano on either side. I think there's some flowers. I don't remember what's in here. I planted it pretty densely. And then portulaca here and a butternut squash that, no, butternut squash are not doing good in my garden. Okay, here is the pot that we bought that day. Remember, my hubby found it for $4 and it was full of plants. So here are 3 of the geranium that came in it. And then that white flower that vines, that was in there too. And let's see, this yarrow was something I got on clearance, but it wasn't in this pot. Oh, no, okay. And these 2 geranium and this thing that I'm not sure what it is, that came in that pot too. I just put it in its own pot. And here is the green stock tray or tier that was at the top, the one that was the problem one, the one that they replaced. And I have, for the first time ever, I have chamomile growing. Oh, look at the flowers. I'm so excited. This is a pepper, a little crispy pepper. Is this, what is this? Let's see. Yeah, it's a spearmint, and that's a pepper. And here I had a nasturtium, and this is par for the course. This happens everywhere I grow nasturtium, even in different states. Okay, so you've heard me sing my straw bale woes. This is the first time in 4 years of using straw bales to grow in that I've had problems with the straw bale. And I can't put my finger on what the problem is. But anyways, I have tomatoes in here, and one of them came up right here, and then it just disappeared. So I have, I think this is a pear tomato. I'm not sure what this one is. I'd have to go back and watch that video, but these are all determinate. Well, let's see. The first 3 are determinate, and I think here I have the Sweet 100, which is an indeterminate. Basil. I ran out of places to plant things, and I didn't have containers. and I did not want to spend money on containers. So I used this. I already had it, and I put 5 basil in here. I think they are just about ready to decide this is their home. They seem to be doing okay. They've been in here for a little bit. I love basil. I love the smell. I love cooking with it. I like to dry it and have it on hand. I had several quart jars of dried basil from last year, and I love iced tea, basil iced tea, so I'm trying to put basil everywhere. All right, coming around the bend. Let's talk about the good stuff. This is a banana potato. It's a fingerling type. This is banana as well, just starting to come up, and I think I see, look at that. Yep, that's doing pretty good. That's banana. This is banana. Oh, look at that. What on earth? Let's see. Where is it? He has got to go. 1 second. There he is, that little rascal. I'm not sure what he is, but let's get rid of him. I should have known. Tomato hornworm. Yeah. Tomatoes and potatoes. Cousins. Yeah, like I said before, everything is early this year. The cabbage moths were here in March, which was shocking, and we had some squash bugs out too, but I didn't have anything for them to go after. I guess they could have gone after my... Nope, I didn't really have anything for them, so they didn't last very long. Okay, so let's get on to the disappointment. And that is my beans, mostly. And then right here, peppers and okra. So this is Sugar Rush Peach, and I planted this a long time ago. It's been, I don't know, it's been a month or more. Nothing happening here. Nothing happening with the okra. And then when you come over here, these 8 buckets have beans. And here is an interesting thing. All planted at the same time, same soil, same watering schedule, everything. These front ones were the only ones that had seeds come up. The back ones didn't have any seeds come up. But the seeds came up, they looked good, and then they shriveled up and died. Can you see that? Yeah, they did not make it. Same with this one. That first one was a Maxicot. What is it called? Maxibel haricot. This second one was a strike bean. This is Cantari. This one came up too and died. And this is a Royal Burgundy. And so far, this one is staying up. Some of the leaves are crunchy, but it still has fresh leaves at the top. Nothing happened in the back. Let me check this one because I see a little bulge, just in case. Nope. So for this reason, I started seeds, bean seeds in the greenhouse in those little cells. And I'm going to put them back in here as they come up. I hope that I can start them in there. Okay, so now we swing around. Oh, before we swing around, this is a box that was here on the property, and I just put some soil in it, and I try to grow things in it. Nothing's ever grown in it. Nothing's ever grown that I put in here. So I put some flowers in here. I don't know. This was some kind of daisy. I'm not sure what it was. And I put this little house and this little walkway. for the little person that lives in here, just for fun. Over here is the potato lab. If you guys have been following, you know what this is. This is 2 cardboard boxes with some potatoes, and they are doing fabulously. And then this is a earth bag with potatoes, and that is a chicken feed bag with potatoes. Now, the only one that wasn't successful was this one, and that was my fault, I believe, because it did not have good drainage, and I put drainage in it, oh, much later when I thought about it. I just thought that this thing wouldn't be airtight and that the water would just come out the bottom, but it didn't. And I believe that the potatoes in it, this is moist, quite moist. I think the potatoes in it rotted. I'm looking at this because look at this. This looks like something was eating it. So I should look out for those little worms. Okay, so, but the reason there's a potato in there is because in one of my new beds there was a potato, which was puzzling to me because it was a new bed and I never planted anything in it. But there was a little potato in there and he was doing his best to live, so I just transplanted him here. And very quickly, I mean, he's almost 3 times the size as he was when he was in that other bed, so he likes it there. And I made bigger holes and I just tried not to water too much. And these are doing okay. They're starting to yellow a bit, and I don't know if that's just, I think, I'm gonna say, yeah, I don't know why. They haven't gotten flowers yet, so I don't know why they're yellowing, but this, I'm pleasantly pleased with this. It's just, this one's getting some flowers, I believe. Yeah, I'm just happy with this because the point of this little potato lab was just to show that you don't need expensive stuff or special stuff. If you can get some cardboard boxes, my husband brought these from work, put some dirt in it, put your potatoes, and grow them. Oh, the sun went down, you guys, so let's continue. This is the ugly part of my garden, I think. This is just old straw that I used in past years to grow things in. Very successfully, I might add. I don't know what's going on this year. And so I just grab, you know, if I need mulch or whatever, I just get it from this corner. Okay, this is another disappointment. I had 2 calabacita squash in here, which they did so great for me 2 years ago. I love them and I wanted to have more. They didn't make it. I put in some butternut squash. They didn't make it. I put in butternut squash again. I think this one is from the second batch. It's holding on. None of the others made it, and I don't know why. I mean, I have my doubts about these. I don't know if they are, I don't know how well conditioned they are, because if you watch my other videos you will see the doubts that I have because of the way they were tied, and they, you know, the open end of the bale in the straw was not facing up to receive the fertilizer that I was putting in, etc., etc. Anyways, I don't know. So, but just in case it wasn't, I gave these plants some help and I put a handful of soil in there to go with them. I did that with those tomatoes I just showed you too, those tomato seeds. And it didn't seem to help any. It just, yeah. Disappointment. Okay. So this is another cattle panel arch. These are 2 actually, so this one runs 8 feet. And what I did here on the outside is I put let's see, I put 4 different cucumber seeds, but I had one come up here and there was one right here. You can see it. He just decided to call it and just shriveled up. So the other 2 did not come up. Don't know why. And I think I put 2 of each seed. I'm pretty sure I usually do that. I put 2 of each seed just in case one did not germinate. So I should be getting more cucumbers here. These were June 2nd. June 2nd, you guys. And I put some bean starts here. These are from the store. That one is gone. This one probably, who knows? I can't say. That's a weed. And I think I had 2 more here, and they did not make it either. So, as you can see, you never know what's going to happen in the garden, right? You just have to work it and see what happens. Oh, yesterday's these were about to open and they started. Look at the snapdragons. How beautiful. Oh, I can't wait till they're in full bloom. And here are some more of my zinnias from seed. So excited. Okay, yeah, I hope those do well and bloom this time. So inside of this bed, I don't have anything on the other side of the trellis. Did I put something? No, I didn't put anything here yet. I was thinking of putting something that needed shade since the cucumbers are going to come up, if the cucumbers come up. And doing the same thing along here. Putting something that needs some shade. Here's some basil. He's not acting too happy. I got a lot of basil at Lowe's. I met the Bonnie plant people, and the lady told me she was going to be marking them down. Well, not marking them down, but making them $5 for the 2.5 quart size containers, and each one had 4 basil, so I bought several of those. Okay, right here I have some cantaloupe. And I mentioned before that the reason for that was because I have potatoes over there, and I found out recently that potatoes and tomatoes, it's not a good idea to put them together. You're asking for trouble, especially like with that little bug. You know, all your nightshades together like that, they will just wipe them out. So I put some cantaloupe here as a buffer. Nothing's coming up. June 1st is when I planted those. And then along here I planted some tomatoes. Nothing's coming up. I decided to mulch because I didn't know if they were drying out too soon or what. So I water them every day. I didn't water them yet today. And nothing's coming up here just yet. Basil. I do think I overwatered these for a little bit, so I stopped. These are 2 different types of basil. Okay, moving on. This is onions. And this is the last onion bed that I planted. So it's the youngest onions, and the birds trampled through here a lot. And I am constantly adding soil and just trying to help these plants out because they do take a beating from those birds. The other day I put in some 18-day radish in here. It's going to take a lot longer than 18 days for them to come up, but that's okay. See that? See that? Let's see, can you see that? Yeah. This is why I keep telling myself I need to cover these rows. This is an oregano that looks like it's trying to do something. Come back. These are all crispy. So These, I'm confident that these will do good. These onions, they're just young. Oops, oops, here's a, I need to cut this and make a note of this. Now when I cut this onion won't be a good storage onion because this happened to it. Got this little scape here. I'm surprised because these aren't even the oldest. This is the second batch I planted. I got them all at the same time from Dixondale Farms. I had super success with their onion plants last year, which was my first year doing onions. But this year I just, yeah, one of my beds was unavailable because I moved it thinking I wouldn't want it there. And then this one that I just showed you hadn't been built yet, so they went in different stages. This was the second bed to get onions, and I put some, yeah, there's a couple you can see right here. It seems like most of the 18-day radishes are not coming up in this bed, but here's one. Okay, something else that I put in here that I'm excited about is, for years and years, I mean decades now, I'm not kidding, I have wanted to grow this melon called Moon and Stars, and I don't know why, I've just never done it. And I saw these at the farmer's market on Saturday, so I grabbed a pot that had 2 of them, and I didn't know that the leaves get the moon and stars too. So what it is, it's a dark melon and it has a big yellow spot and then lots of little yellow spots, so it looks like the moon and stars. And I always wanted to get it. So where's the other one? I have 2. Where did I plant the second one? I don't know. Somewhere. It's around here somewhere. So this is the first onion bed that I planted, and you can tell because of the size. And this onion bed had a bunch of these. I remember in one video asking, does anybody know what this is? What is this? And I ended up pulling them all out. I thought maybe they were radishes because I had put radishes in here before, but they're not. I think they're sunflower. This one came back or came up, and I decided to leave this one. And I think it's a sunflower because in the evening it's turned that way to the west, and that's what sunflowers do. Sunflower plants do that. They follow the sun. So I am excited about this bed. I have this thing, I don't know if you have it, I know I'm not the only gardener that has it, that plants the things and then gets nervous and worried about whether it's going to work, whether they're going to come up, is it going to do anything? And for a long time I felt that way about these onions, but now look, they are starting to bulb up. And I am excited. Now I know a lot of people make a space around their onion bulbs like this. They say it helps them to get their bulbs growing, but I have never done it because Dixondale, the people I get my plants from, say don't. So I just never have. And my onions came out just fine without doing that. Okay, so, oh, what is this plant? Oh, this is a Gerber daisy that was on clearance, and I thought I would try to save it, so I repotted it into a bigger pot, and we'll see what happens. These are my Dollar Tree stackable planters, and my experience with this is that maybe just to put flowers in here, and flowers that you can just replace, like some annuals, because the herbs that I put in here did not make it. I was watering a lot all the time. Well, I watered when they were dry, you know, and I felt like they needed. So I think I had parsley or cilantro. Parsley in here, oregano, thyme, and some petunias. and it just required constant watering. And so my husband connected it to this stump with rebar, and I am going to continue using it, but I'm not going to put anything that I expect to get food from. I'm just going to put pretty things in there like flowers, and yeah, I think part of it is that the pots are shallow. They're really shallow. They're small, so you probably would have to fertilize quite often because, you know, the plant is using up the nutrients from the soil really quickly. Okay, we're almost done. Well, almost done. This bed is one of my first beds, and it is a mess. I never mulched it because I wanted to put like this kind of mulch on it, because it was supposed to be just flowers this year. It had onions last year, and it had this honeysuckle that goes all the way up this trellis and looks beautiful. No flowers yet. I threatened it. I read that second or third year it gets flowers. This is its third year, and I told him, if you don't give me flowers, I'm digging you up. Okay, so there's so many different flowers that I've put in here so many times, and I think because it's not mulch, it's even more attractive to those birds. So they come in here and they just tear it up. I mean, tear it up. And I have put, I don't know how many seeds in here. I have lost track of what types of seeds I've put in here. I think this here is the only thing that's come up. I think it's a Shasta daisy. I'm not sure. But I kind of decided to take a break from this box for a little bit. And I might give up on the flowers right now. Maybe I will, I don't know what I will do. Put some food in there, or just give myself a break and then come back and try with flowers again. Okay, and this is the second onion bed. This is not a new bed, it's just that I moved it because I was going to do something else here. And then I just put it back because I really needed a place to put the onions, so I put it back here. Last year I grew, I think I planted 120 onions and I got like 98 or 99 onions. Was it 120? Maybe not that many, but I got most of my onions. This year I planted 274, and there's so many that are missing because when they were small, the birds pulled them out, and then I didn't see them till the next day, and they were dried out or whatever, things like that. And as you look around, you will see spots where plants are missing. Here's a perfect example of, oh look, more basil. Here's a perfect example of what those birds do. You see that? You can see it better from here. That hole and that hole. They just dig through there. There are a lot of worms in my beds too, so I'm sure they're going after that, and in the process messing with my onions. And there are some, oh, here's a 18-day radish that's doing very well. It looks like a clump of them here actually, and I see a little red. Do you see that? Yep. Okay, let's come over to here. This is a big container that I plan to put corn in. It has a little basil right now. There's nothing in here yet because I wanted to stagger the corn. I wanted to put some in every 10 days or something like that. This is just the sunflower plants that I pulled out of the green stalk. That's the sunflower. Okay, this one has corn in here, and I don't know, it's going on 3 weeks maybe that corn is in here. Over 3 weeks, nothing's happened yet. So later today we are going to soak some inside and start them that way. This is more basil. In here, this is the blackberry bush. You guys have seen this bush. Oh, the wind just throws so much sand on my plants. They can't photosynthesize. This is mint over here. And this is lemon balm. And this is a rosemary. The reason that they're in here with this guy is because he can't be alone in this big pot. At least for a while he'll have company. Until he grows up a little bit. I did not want to pot him up in a smaller pot and then up pot him. So the advice by someone that knows what she's talking about, she told me to put some perennials in here with him, and so that's what I did. And it seems to be working. He's growing. He's doing fine. This is our Anna apple. It's, what is it called? Let's see. Ultra dwarf Anna apple. And she seems to be doing okay. She is battered by the wind a lot. I mean, all the flowers that were on here fell off from the wind. And I want to try and come up with some kind of protection for her with burlap or something like that so she doesn't get hit so much by the wind. And I think this is marigolds coming up here. Of course, everything that I planted in here is not coming up. I was trying to get purslane to grow. Probably my 4th attempt at purslane, unsuccessful. Maybe I shouldn't have put it in here with well, I don't know. I was going to say maybe I shouldn't have put it in here with this kind of heavy mulch, but everything else is growing. This is my hubby's gooseberry. He has fond memories of gooseberries from his youth, so I bought this plant and it had these 2 big branches. I thought of cutting them off because these 2 little ones are growing from it, but I'm glad I didn't because they started to, look at that. Look at that. I'm glad I left it. Oh, look at this one. I have to study a little bit more about gooseberries because I don't know if they'll just get fruit from the new growth, because you can see the new growth here as opposed to the old growth. And I don't expect to get anything this year, but I still need to know what to expect. And then there's a volunteer watermelon in here. I had watermelon in here last year. And I think there are, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I picked off a shriveled up one yesterday, so there were 6. I think I might take some off. I don't know if this can maintain that many watermelons, this one plant. And because it's in here with the gooseberry, I don't know how much I want to fertilize it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm doing there yet. Okay, here is my other cement mixing tray, and these are onions that I saw just laying randomly in the wrong place at Home Depot, and the lady gave them to me for $1, and so I stuck them in here. This is a weed, and I am surprised that they took and they are growing. They'll be pretty late onions, but that's okay. Oh, this pot right here, this metal pot, had some irises that my sister-in-law gave me. Someone gave her a bunch and she gave me some, and I put them here and here because this is the first year, this is their 3rd year with me, and the first year they didn't bloom. And I think it's because they were choked. They were just so, I wasn't thinking that these kind of plants need room to spread, you know, their rhizomes, and they multiply that way. So I didn't get any this year, but hopefully I'll get some next year. I am pretty sure that this is that bird digging right here. Okay, so this is my potato lane. Let's just give you a there. And this is my modified roof stout method. I did not just throw it on the ground like roof stout did and covered it with straw, because I have that. It's really packed hard sand, and then about 1.5 feet below is just clay. So I did put some topsoil, and I'm not sure what I put anymore. I do have a video with that. I prepped it a little bit, but I didn't trench it or anything. I just put some fertilizer, which was what? I think it was just bone meal and blood meal, and everywhere that I put a potato, and then I just threw the straw down, and this is what we have. Doing very, very well, and the straw does a great job at keeping it moist. I am noticing that some of these are getting flowers. And there's some buds. Oops. Where are the buds? And now I know that I also have to be checking for those tomato hornworms. I recently put some sweet pea seeds in here. I would like them to grow up these bamboo. Let's see if I can remember my potatoes. I think it's red Pontiac. Okay, red Pontiac, Nordic red, and Magic Molly. It looks like right in here something didn't come up. This is the red Pontiac. There's a little hole there. This is the red Pontiac spot right here. I see some coming up. Right there. Again, another tripod of bamboo where I put some sweet peas. I hope they'll come up. I'm pretty satisfied with the success I'm having with the potatoes. Okay, and then to kind of, I felt like as the potatoes grew I would need to put more straw, and just to keep it in place and not to have it falling over in the walkway, I put these cinder blocks and I fill them with portulaca, because I always have portulaca. And then in the ones next to the portulaca, like here and here, I put some miniature sunflowers. I think they get to be, I don't know, is it 3 feet tall, I think? So that's what's in here. And then last but not least, it's just these little flowers that were clearance plants, half dead, and I saved them. Sweet potato vine, petunias, some portulaca, some marigolds. And that's it, you guys. That is my first garden tour for YouTube of 2023. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have questions about anything I shared, please ask in the comments. If you liked my video, if you found it interesting, informative, please like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do so. I'd love to have you as part of the Safe at Homestead family. Share with anybody in your life that is into gardening, raising chickens, preserving food. And I'll see you guys in the next one.